Hi, I'm Angie. I want to welcome you to National Indoor RV Centers, where we specialize in the sales, storage, service, and detailing of only high-end new and used coaches. So basically, we do it all. Well, it's another windy day here in Texas. I'm grateful for that because in August I'd be dying of heat if we didn't have a little wind, so bear with us if we have a little wind noise. But I'm super excited today to show you the 2018 Newmar Essex. So they had a lifestyle change this year, so you're going to have all new front and end caps. And there's a lot of new features that I think you're really going to love. All right, let's talk about Newmar's paint. No one does it better. They use BASF paint, same paint that you're going to find on Lamborghini, BMW, and they start with 2 coats of base, then 3 coats of skin. Now your skin's going to be this color here, the cream color, and then they do 2 coats for each color. Then they do 4 coats of clear, and they have 5 stages of cut and buff. So if you run your fingers down the side of a Newmar Essex King Air, you can't feel any transition there. It's seamless. They just do a beautiful job on their painting. They also do a great job on caulking. I know these are just little details, but seriously, if you've ever tried to do this, it's really difficult and they do it just perfectly. Today I'm going to be showing you the 4553 floor plan. We did do a custom paint job on this coach. We customized the exterior and we customized the interior as well. Now note that Newmar is celebrating 50 years of manufacturing motorhomes. So as we go through this coach, I think you'll see why they've been so successful for 50 years. Here we have the convex chrome exterior mirrors. They are internally controlled, they have defrost. They also have the side view camera up here in the mirror, and you're going to have a turn signal indicator in your mirror as well. Now this is a new little feature. You're probably wondering what that is. You don't really see it till you're right up next to it, but this is something new that they added in 18. So this is for your flagpole. So you just simply put that in the bracket and fly whatever flag that you want to, whether it's your college team, your family crest, or NIRVC's flag. These are the HWH hydraulic steps. These are wonderful. Look how close they come to the ground. Also, if you pull up and they're gonna hit the curb, they'll stop, or if they hit your leg, they'll stop. But it's really nice because you don't have to heave your stuff into the coach anymore, especially when you've got your air suspension up and it's a big step. These are going to be very easy to navigate. Here we have the polish-free aluminum wheels, and we have the 365 tires on the front and 315 Michelin tires on the back. And when you say 365, that's as big as they come for an RV. And I used to always think that they got like taller, bigger. They actually the tread gets wider. So that's going to give you a smoother, quieter ride. The Essex has dual pane tinted safety glass windows throughout. You're going to have a power door awning, and then you have the Girard awnings that run the full length of the coach. They're LED lit. They've got the Nova pitch, so you're going to have a lot of shade. Great for tailgating. We have the 150-gallon fuel tank. That's dual fill, so you can fill it from the passenger side or the driver's side, so I can fill this tank as quickly as I can fill my car if I'm working from both sides. Have your docking lights, your marker lights. And then I want you to notice that we've got the flush slide outs. So a lot of RV companies, they can't get them, so that they fit perfectly when the slides retract. Newmar does this. This adds to the quietness of the coach because there's no lip causing wind noise when you're going down the road. One thing I want to point out, when you've got these flush mounted slides, the tolerance is so tight that they're meant to go out when you're at ride height. So when you get to your camping spot, slides out, jacks down. And then when you go to leave, you do the same in reverse. Jacks up, slides in. Here we have our exterior entertainment center. So we have the 40-inch Sony TV, the Bose soundbar, and you can Bluetooth into that so you can play your music out here. You also can just switch this little switch from TV off to radio. Now, another huge feature is the fact that this TV comes out and swivels so you can direct it so that it's not taking the glare of the sun. All right, before we move on to the baggage compartment, I want to talk a little bit about the foundation. So the foundation is the most important thing when you're building a home. The same thing goes for a motorhome. So the Essex sits on the K3 Spartan chassis. Spartan has been making chassis specifically for motorhomes for 30 years. So they custom design and build chassis for motorhomes, which is unique to the industry. 3 firsts in the industry for Spartan were independent front suspension on a motorhome, side radiator in a motorhome, and the passive steer tag axle. We'll talk about more detail about these items as we go through the coach. We can't entertain outside without some drinks and food, right? So here we have our exterior refrigerator freezer. So you can set the temperature on this. It extends way out beyond your slide. Ah, nice and cool. So you set the temperature here, so if you want to tailgate and you just want to keep drinks out here, you can do that. Or if you want to, take Bluebell across the country, that's what my family would want. You can make that a deep freeze and take your meats and ice cream with you. Here we have our first of our powered pass-through trays. So you simply hit the button and they extend both directions. This is really nice because they get heavy as you load them. Another nice feature is they've got this little lip here. So if I've got a heavy tool case that I want to take off of here, I just lift that up. I can slide it right out. Now while we're down here, I want you to take a note of the chassis. So Spartan does the 2 C channels. So they put 2 C channels together. That's what you're seeing one of there. And Newmar does the Star Foundation. So they've added that to the chassis. That's a strong, true, and robust super steel structure that strengthens the chassis and makes it a smoother, quieter ride. Here's our large powered pass-through tray. So again, that extends on both sides. We've got some extra tiles here. And we have one more large pass-through tray. Okay, you're gonna have to use your muscles here, but that's manual. Pull that out. You'll also see down here that we've got our Dirt Devil filter. That's for our central vac. We've got these controls, which are for your Girard awnings. We've got 2 110 outlets. Here we have your pegboard, so you can hang your tools, extra oil that you want to carry, maybe your DEF fluid. You've got a spot for it here. Here we have another marker light, docking light. These are really important as you're pulling into a campground at night. It's just amazing how those picnic tables and rocks jump out and grab you. So this will keep your coach safe. Here we have our DEF, and that's dual fill as well. So you can do that on both sides of the coach. And then just to note, DEF does expire. So for those of you that carry DEF, you want to buy it at Walmart, make sure you're checking the expiration. At National Indoor RV Centers, we have a lot of our customers calling in because they're having an engine code come up on their digital dash, and it's due to having old DEF in their system. And lastly, we have our chassis batteries and our chassis cutoff switches. So if we're not lucky enough to have you as one of our customers at National Indoor RV Centers where you store with us in either our Dallas or Atlanta location where we store 300 coaches indoors, and we always keep you plugged into 50 amp service. So if you're storing elsewhere and you're not plugged into 50 amp service, you want to make sure you cut off all power to your batteries when you go to store your coach. This right here is a fuse center for the back end of the coach. So if you have a tail light that goes out, it's probably going to be right under this panel where you can change your fuse. Here's your air dryer and fuel filter. Okay, I want you to notice the water that's running off the coach. So it's coming out right here. This is condensation from the air conditioner. So Newmar does something unique in the industry. They put their air conditioning unit right on the roof. So the condensation from the AC runs off the roof into a gutter and then down a downspout. So you're never going to have unsightly water stains on the side of your coach. Now, if you do ever see water running down the side of your coach, you know that your downspout is clogged. So you don't have to get on your roof. All you have to do is get an air check, blow some air up into that downspout, and it's going to unclog your gutter. Now, other manufacturers put their AC units over a pan, and the condensation goes into that pan. If that pan runs over with water, it's going to come into your house. So it's really unique. It's not only aesthetically pleasing, but it makes sense what Newmar does with their condensation from their air conditioner. The Essex is powered by the 605 horsepower ISX Cummins engine with a 4,000 Allison transmission, and it has 1950 foot-pounds of torque. It also can tow 20,000 pounds. So what does that mean to you? It means that you can pull a stacker trailer with your Jeep Grand Cherokee and your Chevy Suburban together, and you're not going to feel this at all behind you. The 605 horsepower means that you have 605 horses pushing you forward, and when you've got your engine brake on, you have 605 horses pulling you back when you want to stop this coach. Moving on to some guy talk here. Okay, here we have our engine compartment. We have our coolant here. You want to make sure that it is always full. Then we have our quick connect air line. So a regular gas station doesn't have 120 psi. If you're not near a truck stop, this engine acts as a giant air compressor, and you can fill up your tires to 125 psi right from here. Engine oil add, dipstick where you check your oil level. This is your power steering fluid dipstick. Here we have our engine block heater. So on cold winter mornings, you want to make sure you come out here and plug that in. If you're needing to use this, you probably need to go further south. They've given us a light here in our compartment, which is always nice. Here's our transmission fluid dipstick and fill. This is our air filter, and this is our air filter minder. When it gets up to here, you want to make sure you check that air filter. At National Indoor RV Centers, we strongly suggest that you service your coach at least once a year or every 12,500 miles. And when you do that, you need to check your air filter. Now for a little radiator talk. So I mentioned earlier that Spartan was the first to put the side radiator in a motorhome. So let's talk about let's compare and contrast side radiator versus a rear radiator. So when you have a rear radiator, you've got to take that radiator out anytime you have to get to the engine. So serviceability wise, that's not very convenient. Also on the rear radiator, you're trying to cool that radiator with engine heat, probably like 150 degrees, coming from the engine to cool the radiator. So it also, the grime and dirt and debris that the engine kicks up is being sucked into that radiator as well. The side radiator is going to draw in ambient air. So today that would be about 85, 90 degrees versus 150. That makes a big difference. If the radiator doesn't have to work as much, you're going to have more horsepower. It takes 35 horsepower to run the radiator fan. So if you're making it work less hard, you're going to have more horsepower. All right, while we're on Spartan first, let's talk about another one, the passive steer tag axle. So you can see here, this is an Audi. I kind of remember them like belly buttons. I know that's silly, but this is an Audi, this is an Annie. So you have your Audi here on your tag axle. You also have the Audi up on your front axle. So this is going to give you a tighter turning radius. And again, you're going to have less tire scrub on your tag axle due to the passive steer tag axle. All right, you're probably wondering what this little door is right here. Now, Newmar introduced this in 2017. In 2018, they made it even better. So this is your emergency egress door. This is a lot better than having to jump out your window if there's an emergency. So you'll note that there's no handle here, so they try to, disguise it as best they can. You can only access this from inside the coach, and I'm going to demonstrate this a little bit later once I'm inside the coach. But this is not only used for emergencies, but I always think, you can use it for loading and unloading your coach. You can hand your loved ones your items that are going in the back of the coach, and you don't have to go back and forth through the whole coach. Here we have our DEF fill, so dual fuel fill on both sides of the coach. And here we have our galvanized locked stinky slinky holder. Not sure why we have a lock on that, but we want to make sure our sewer hose is protected. One more thing I want to bring to your attention. Let's compare and contrast slide toppers. Seems like a simple thing, but you'll notice here that Gerard puts the mechanism right on the side of the coach. And see how nice and tight that is? There's no sag in it. A lot of manufacturers put that mechanism on the end of the slide and you'll see a lot of sag. So this is a superior way to do it. Here we have docking light, marker light. We have the exhaust for our Oasis hydronic heat system, which I'll talk about. Here we are in our wet bay. So you'll see, first of all, that it's nicely labeled. I love that we have a spot for our paper towels, so once we've done all the dirty work, we can clean up. We have our shower that has hot and cold. So we all have our cold and hot low point drains. If we're not fortunate enough to have you as one of our storage customers and you need to winterize your coach, these will come in handy. This is a water filter for your coach. Here we have our tank level readings for our fresh gray and black tanks. We have the gray tank rinse and the black tank rinse, and our Sanacon on or off. So here we have our Thetford Sanacon system, and this is our sewer hose, or stinky slinky. If you are the old-fashioned if you're old-fashioned, you like the old-fashioned way of a gravity dump like our CEO, you can hook your sewer hose in here, come out right through the bottom, and just do a regular old gravity dump instead of the Sanacon. Then we have our water tap. Here we have the ManaBlock plumbing system. This is really cool. So if you have to work on your shower, you can turn off the water to the shower only and still have water in the rest of the coach. So that's really nice. And then we have our power water reel. So you just release that and then retract. Now I want to discuss what's on the other side of this panel. We're going to have some holding tank maintenance back at the shop. All right, I wanted to show you what a freshwater tank looks like outside of the coach. This is actually on the floor of your coach, but I've brought it out here. This is a 105-gallon freshwater tank from the Essex. Now they all are basically going to look the same, just vary in size. This is the valve where you'll fill your tank with water, and over here is the valve if you have a tank, once your freshwater tank is full, if it spills over, it's going to exit out the bottom of the coach. You'll see water on the ground and know it's full. Now on the Essex, it works in conjunction with the autofill with your silver leaf, and it will let it know when the tank is full and it will shut it off. So you normally aren't going to need this in the Essex. Okay. Hey, sorry for any background noise that may happen. I'm here in the shop, and this is our 60-gallon black tank from the Essex. So you would also have the gray tank that would sit right next to it that's just going to be a little bit bigger. Here we have the sewer rinse or the sewer flush valve. And then you'll see these big indentations right here. This is where the chassis rails go. And then here we have the connection that will hook into your macerator on the Essex. And right here is where your sensors are for your tank levels. All right, let's go over a little tank maintenance. Now, here at National Indoor RV Centers, we have customers that are coming in all the time, and they're concerned that they don't think the sensors are working on their tank. That is rarely the case, and let me explain to you why. All right, let's talk about this in 3 parts. First of all, if you have a lot of toilet paper in your tank, it's filling up there. Toilet paper is going to absorb water. So it's taking all that water, it's filling up. Look how narrow it gets in this section right here. So imagine that you've got a lot of toilet paper in there, it's absorbing all the water. Now you've got to push it from here all the way over here. You're probably like me in thinking that your black tank was this big square box and then you had the sewer flush, so you had a little valve that went in there. I envision it like my dishwasher, you know, spinning around and cleaning off all the walls of the black tank. Well, that is definitely not the case. So here I pointed out the sewer flush here. So that's actually a piece of PVC pipe going in there and spraying some water in there. That's not going to obviously clean all the walls of this portion of the black tank or this portion of the black tank and this portion of the black tank. So what is the purpose of the sewer rinse? The sole purpose of the sewer flush is to get extra water into the tank and move all that toilet paper that's absorbed all that water through the black tank to your macerator. So let's talk about why we think our sensors are giving us bad readings a lot of the time. So when you pull into a dump station, you could be completely level, or you could be sloping away from the dump station, or you could be sloping towards it. So say you're sloping away from it, you're going to still have debris in the back of your tank. You're going to flush the whole black tank, but when you get back to a level spot, your sensor is going to say that you still have something in your tank. So here at National Indoor RV Centers, when we dump our customers' tanks after they've come back from a trip, we make sure that we always raise the levels, either with the jacks on the passenger side of the coach or with the Hadley air system on the passenger side of the coach, so that we have the slope going towards the dump station so that we can get everything out, or almost everything out of the black tank and keep a good reading. Here we have our 50-foot 50 amp shore power cord, and that is on an automatic reel, which is wonderful. We also have a generator start button here, so we can start that. We can unplug, start our generator, and we have the light, which is always nice. We have the SureGuard power protection unit, and we have connection for cable. Most campgrounds have free cable. We just have to connect our coax here, bring it out through here, and we've got cable. Here we have our Oasis hydronic heating module. So this is going to give us our on-demand hot water, and will act as our furnace once we drop below 40 degrees in the coach. Here is our power pass-through tray. So again, that's going to extend both directions. Great that it's power. We don't have to struggle getting anything in or out of our coach. Our second power pass-through tray. Okay, I want you to notice when I open this door that it's on a slipper hinge. So it actually comes out and drops down. I'm going to shut it and then open it. This slipper hinge allows us to have more storage. When this hydraulic slide comes out, it actually comes out and lowers, so that would decrease our space, but they put it on the slipper hinge, so all the doors on the driver's side have the slipper hinge, which gives us more storage. Now here are our 8 house batteries. They are on a pull-out tray here. They are AGM batteries, so you really don't have to do anything with them. Hopefully you'll come to National Indoor RV Centers and buy a new coach before you have to replace your batteries. Here we have our fuel fill from the driver's side. So again, you can do that from the passenger or driver's side. Marker light, docking light. All right, before we go into our last door on the driver's side, I want you to notice that this is the exhaust for your generator. Here we have a lot of our fuses. This is the power center for the front of the coach. So I take off this panel. We've got a little map here of what it's for. So if you happen to lose your seat heat inside the coach, seat 1 and seat 2, or they're not moving forward and backwards, driver's seat, those fuses are right in here. So you're going to look all over the place. They're nicely labeled right here. Another great thing that Newmar has done is they've given us these spare fuses. So we don't have to go hunt them down. They're not loose in this compartment right here. So that's really nice. They've given us a little squeegee for our windshield, and then we have the HWH hydraulic slide for our generator. So I'm just going to push extend, and it's going to come out as long as I've got the key in accessory mode or turned on. All right, almost done here. We have our emergency suspension fill right here. So front right, left front, and left rear. We have our hot water line to the generator, so you can hook up your hose. You can wash all the bugs off your front cap and your windshield with hot water. They come off a lot easier that way. Here is your wussy horn. I'm going to show you the difference between the wussy horn and the air horns when we get inside. We also have our quick connect, so we can fill up our tires. We have our fuel oil filter, and we have our windshield wiper fluid here. All right, here we have our air horns, and then we have our 12.5 Onan generator. So this is plenty of power. You can run your 3 ACs, your microwave. You are not going to run out of power with your generator. If you do happen to blow the breaker, this is where you would come and reset it. And then here is yet another place that you can start your generator. So push the button. So we have 4 ways that we can get into our coach. Obviously, we can use the old-fashioned way, and we can use the key, or we can use the key fob, so we can lock and unlock to enter the coach. Also, this does our baggage doors as well, unlocks and locks them. Another really cool feature on the Essex is when you release the park brake, your baggage doors automatically lock. So that's a nice safety feature, and you don't have to worry about them when you pull out of a campground. Then you can set your own unique code. So you can allow your grandkids to come in the coach when you're not here, or service tech if you want to give them the code. And you always have your Z tablet, which you can access the coach from, and you can download the My Rosie app onto your phone, and you could give someone access to the coach through that. All right, let's go inside this beautiful coach. I love how they've got the solid surface as you enter the coach. It just looks so luxurious and high-end. All right, before I come in the coach, I just want to mention one more thing about the steps. We have them extended. They're going to stay extended even when I shut the door. But when I shut the door, turn on the engine, and release the park brake, the steps are going to automatically come in, along with locking the baggage doors. Now, I love that we've got these nice assist handles as we come into the coach. One here and one here, this grab bar, so it's very easy to get in and out of the coach. Also, right here, as I walk in, I have the stepwell light. So, I come in, it's dark, I can light up the stepwell here, and then I can lock or unlock my baggage doors, and I can turn on, this is my battery disconnect, so that's great. When I'm coming into the coach, I can hit that on, or when I'm leaving, I can shut that off if I want to. Right here in the passenger's chair, I have my handy dandy own little passenger screen. I can see the rear camera here. I also have the navigation, so I can input our route and have that right here. Much easier for me to do and see from here. I also can control the radio. So this is a great function, new feature. We also have the patio light, the shade, the step cover, and then we have our ceiling light. This is a great button because it's going to light the ceiling through the whole coach. So now I can see exactly where I'm going as I go into my coach, and my map light. I also can control the air conditioner, my dash AC and heat from here. And last but not least, I have my handy dandy workstation, and they've added this recessed cup area so that my drink's not going to spill as we're going down the road. I also have access to the two 110 outlets and two USBs. The 12 volt right here, and my drink holder. Kind of obvious, but it's important to have those. The Essex has the beautiful Villa ultra leather seats. We've got hand controls that they've made little covers for, so you just right there to move your armrest, and it has the integrated seat belt. This is a big deal. So a lot of times you'll see the seat belt up here. You put it on and it just about chokes you. This is really nice. It's integrated into the seat. The Villa seats are powered, so we have forward, backwards, upward tilt, downward tilt. We can recline them. And then of course my favorite is the footrest. Now I'm ready to go. Now I want to go over the panel here to my left. First we have the Hadley air leveling system. Since we're talking about air, I want to let you know that one of the great features they added in 2018 is an auxiliary air compressor. So if you're at camping and you've decided not to put down your hydraulic jacks and you've had a little air bleed and you get out of level, it's going to automatically sense that and fill that air back up and keep you level. All right, here's the Hadley air system. So we are going to push the SLS, searching for level slope. So this is going to show us arrows front to back and side to side. As long as they're green, it's letting us know that we will be able to level this coach. So they're flashing green. If they were flashing yellow or orange, we would be at an excessive slope and it would be likely to not level. So now I'm going to hit set. And when the lights are solid green, both front to back and side to side, we are level. Okay, so now we're level. I'm going to turn off the engine and that will close the valve and keep the air right where it's at. We're at standard ride height now, but I'm going to go and fuel up my coach, and I'm a little worried about the angle that I've got to pull into the gas station. I'm afraid I'm going to either drag my front or rear end, so I want to raise the entire coach. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the raise button and hold it till it goes solid green. And it's going to start airing up my coach. You can watch the dial here on the front of the dash and see that it's going to raise the rear and the front. The rear may already be all the way raised, but it's going to definitely raise the front. Okay, it's all raised up. So now let's think of a different scenario. Now I've got to get my 13 feet 4 inch tall coach into my 13 feet 5 inch tall garage. So I'm just going to barely make it. It's a little too close for comfort for me. So I can actually lower my coach. So if I press the lower button, and hold, you can hear the air going out of the coach. And you can see it dropping up front. So when I raise the coach, I can go up about 3 inches. When I lower the coach, I can go down about 4 inches. So I have about a 7-inch swing of the height of my coach. Now we're going to use the Hadley air leveling system when we're just staying like one night, overnight, maybe in a Walmart parking lot or a Lowe's. I'm not going to put my hydraulic jacks down. But when I am going to be at a campground for a while, I want to go ahead and put my hydraulic leveling jacks down. So I'm going to use my HWH. So right now you can see that we're in travel mode, which means that my jacks are retracted. So right here, it would let us know if there's an excessive slope. And right here, if this light was illuminated, it would let us know that I don't have the park brake on. So I'm going to go ahead and push auto level. You're going to hear the air coming out of the suspension. It's going to level front to back and side to side. I can do this while the coach is in accessory mode, or I can have the engine on. Right now I've got it in accessory mode. You can see the lights coming on as the jacks are going down. Now you can hear the front jacks going down. All 4 red lights are on and solid, and we are level. All right, I'm done camping, we're ready to leave. So I want to put my jacks back up, retract them. So I could turn on the engine, and I'm gonna have that loud beeping sound that's really annoying till the jacks are up. Instead, I can just put it to accessory mode. It's gonna show that all 4 jacks are down, and I'm gonna put it in auto store. All right, I'm in travel mode. All my jacks are retracted, and I am safe to start my engine and air it up to ride height. Okay, here's our Allison 4000 transmission. We've got R for reverse, N for neutral, D for drive. Then we have our tag dump, auto, disable, and manual. I'm going to keep it in auto. With the passive steer tag axle, I'm just going to always have it in that mode unless I'm stuck in the mud, I need more traction, then I may disable that so that I have more weight on my drive axle. We have our engine brake. Like I said, I always like to drive with mine on, and I keep it on high. That way I've got 605 horsepower pulling me back when my engine brake is on. You can set that to high, medium, or low. And we have the 2 cup holders, which is really nice. We have our 12 volt, or actually 2 USB ports here, and our USB auxiliary input here as well. All right, here we have our light switch, our bright and our dim, and our fog lights, dome light. Then we have our ATC override. So that's our automatic traction control. So normally we would keep this on. We would take this off if we were, say, stuck in mud, we needed our tires to spin more. And we would also do that. We would also do our manual tag dump as well, so it would get more weight on the drive axle. Here we have our handy dandy tow window that goes up and down. It's really nice. And of course, I talked about the air horn. We want to make sure this is always on, so we have a really nice air horn, or we have our wussy. If I'm driving this nice coach down the road, I want to make sure they know I'm coming. Battery boost. So let's talk about worst case scenario. You've left your coach, you come back, and your batteries are dead. So we want to take any charge that's left in our house batteries, any charge that's left in our chassis batteries, and pull that together. So we're going to push that button. We're going to combine those batteries to give us enough power that we can start the generator. Once we've run the generator for just a little bit of time, we'll have enough power to start the inverters and start charging our batteries. All right, here we are at one of the coolest features of the 2018 Essex, the all-new digital dash. So this is programmable. You can decide which information you see. We have we have 3 different options for this screen. So we can get lots of information, or we can take it just down to the basic information. And then we can turn this dial here to change our information that we're seeing there. Cruise set, def level, def tank temperature, etc. Lots of information on this panel. We can go to trip information, and we have another information button that will give us 3 different screens. Engine status. Here we have our tire pressure monitor. So we're going to get the tire pressure of our steer axle, our drive axle, and our tag axle. So that's really valuable information. And we can go to our home button here, and we have the status of our generator, inverter, charger, auto charger, exerciser, water, autofill, and water pump. So if we want to go to the generator, I just turn that dial again, push the button. I can start the generator from here, stop it, or go back to menu. Same with my inverter, enable, disable, back to menu. So lots of functions, a lot of things to cover here. You're gonna love this. All right, I wanna show you one more really cool feature. I'm gonna have to admit something first. I've been guilty of doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and release the parking brake. Do you hear the audible alarm, and it says shore cord? I'm still connected to shore power. So I have done it. I've started to drive off, still plugged into 50 amp service. This is never going to happen to you on the Essex. It's a huge feature. All right, I don't want to forget we have our charging pad right here. So if you have an Android smartphone, you can lay that right on top here and it's going to charge. If you have an iPhone, you need to get a special case and then it will charge your phone for you. We also have our front fan, high, off, and low, our overhead fans, high, medium, and low, our docking lights, on and off, courtesy lights, our generator start button. So again, another place we can start and stop our generator, and our entry lock. So just hit that and I can lock and unlock. Here we have our visors. We have our driver's side visor, our front visor, our front shade, blackout shade, and then our passenger side visor. All right, here we have our dash AC and heat controls, and our HV override is when you hit that, you're going to get more heat from the vents that come out here underneath the dash. Then we have these nice drawers. They're not rattly, nice and strong. So that's great. Here we go. We have our menu for our radio, our nav system, and our camera. So the camera is really phenomenal in the Essex. We have front camera, side camera, rear with 3 different views, passenger side rear, and passenger side front. Then the really cool thing is that we have the 360 view. So here's our coach. We can see all the way around it. I demonstrated this while we were driving, and it's very cool. So we can separate the screen, trailer cam, or our interior cam. All right, we're ready to go, and I want to air up the coach quickly because I'm always in a hurry. So I'm going to go ahead and push my cruise control on, and then I'm going to push set. And you're going to watch my RPMs go up. I was on a different screen. RPMs will go up. I'm in high idle mode now, and I'm airing up, getting ready to leave. Then we have our courtesy lights. So if I were driving on a freeway and a trucker had passed me and he wants to pull in, I want to let him know that it's safe to pull in. So I'm going to press this light one time. That will let him know it's safe to come in. Now if I'm passing a trucker, I want to go past him. He's going to let me know that it's safe to pull in by flashing that light, and I'm going to go pull in front of him, and then I'm going to flash my courtesy lights 3 times, 1, 2, 3, to say thank you. Here we have our windshield wiper controls, so we can obviously just turn it on. We have high-low button here, turn it off, but we can also set them to whatever intermittent interval that we want them to go to. So I'm going to go ahead and push the button, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, push it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So you can set that to whatever timing you'd like. All right, one more thing before we leave the beautiful leather wrapped steering column here. We have hand controls, so if I press this, tilts the steering column forward or backwards and towards me. And here we have the telescope, so it's going to go again back and forth, and pedal adjuster here, so I can move the pedals, adjust those so that it's comfortable when I'm driving. As I mentioned before, we do have the preset dial here, so I can make those adjustments and then save it. All right, we're all aired up and ready to go. Now, this is not a very comfortable driving position. I'm not a school bus driver, I'm a coach driver. So just like you have in your luxury cars, we have the same buttons in our coach, in the Essex. We have memory settings, so I can just simply press number 2. My steering wheel is going to adjust, my pedals will adjust, the chair's adjusting, and now I'm ready to go. The Essex is as easy to drive as my car, except I have a lot more features that are going to help me drive it. So I have great cameras. I have, what you're seeing now is the rear camera, but I can change that setting. And what's really cool is I have this 360 camera. So I can see all the way around my coach, what's on both sides of the coach, in front and behind me. Look at my 360 view of the coach. You can see that I'm in the center lane and I'm staying in my lane. Look at that. And you can also see what cars are coming around me. You can see my rear view camera. Notice with my 360 camera, I can see what's coming up on the left side of me. So on the all digital dash, you can see how clear and easy it is to see the functions of the coach, my miles per hour, my RPM. I've got my cruise control set at 60. That's a small number above the big 60, so you can see that I'm going 60. My collision mitigation system is on. It's activated because I'm going over 15 miles per hour and under 75 miles per hour. And as soon as a car comes in front of me, a car's in front of me now, they're 5 seconds in front of me, you'll see the time change, and it tells you their speed, 62 miles per hour, and distance is 302 feet ahead of me. All right, I've got the engine brake set on high. This is a big, heavy coach, and if I have to stop quickly, I want to have 605 horsepower pulling me back, just like I have 605 horsepower pushing me forward. So I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm just going to take my foot off the gas, and you'll see the coach automatically slows down. That's the engine doing the work. So one of the big features that Newmar has is Comfort Drive. It comes on all their diesel products. So Comfort Drive is a computer-aided driving assist. So as I'm driving down the road here, I can adjust the tension to my steering. And basically, when I'm on the freeway, I like it to be more at a 5, so it feels nice and tight to the road. If I'm in a parking lot, then I'm going to turn it way down to like 1 or 2, so I can easily maneuver the steering wheel with my pinky finger. But Comfort Drive is great because if you are driving, you've got a strong crosswind, the computer is going to feel that and adjust for you. So you're literally just hanging onto the steering wheel, keeping yourself in your lane. You're not going to be fighting the steering wheel. And my customers say that, have come from a coach that didn't have Comfort Drive, coming to a coach with Comfort Drive, that they can drive a lot longer with less fatigue with Comfort Drive. Okay, so on the Essex, you have the collision mitigation system, adaptive cruise control, and electronic stability control. Collision mitigation is when the coach will apply the brakes for you when you're too close to the car in front of you. Adaptive cruise control is what you were watching earlier when you were watching the car in front of me, this distance that it was from me. It was monitoring that car at all times, so the collision mitigation can put on the brakes if we get in an unsafe following distance. The electronic stability control is basically, it's going to help keep your coach stable if you come into an unsafe circumstance. Say a deer runs in front of you. It's going to take away the accelerator and apply the appropriate brake to keep you stable. I want to demonstrate what a quiet riding coach is. So I've pulled out my decibel meter right here, and you can see when I'm not talking, it's about 77, 78. We've got the engine running, the generator running, and now I'm going to start driving. So I'm driving down the freeway. I've got my cruise control set at 68. I've got the generator running, engine's on obviously, and my decibel reader when I'm not talking is about 80. So two decibels louder than it was when we were not moving in the coach. And here we are again. All right, this is probably one of the most important cabinets in the coach. So this is our command center. And first we have the Winegard Traveler satellite. So on the Essex, it has the in-motion satellite and the high definition open face satellite. So that's what that's for. This controls our our awnings on the coach, different zones. This coach also has prepped for solar, so if we want to add solar panels, we can do that. This is our over-the-air Winegard antenna, so we can just turn that on. It will search and lock on to local stations. This is our satellite system. So this is our in-motion satellite. If we want to watch TV while we're going down the road, we're going to turn this satellite system on. It's going to search for the best signal and lock onto a satellite. Now once you're at the campground, if you want to continue using that, you'll want to turn that off so it just stays locked onto one satellite. Here are our security sensors. So we have motion detectors inside the coach. We can turn those on here. We have our driver security lights, so that's on the outside of the coach. Passenger side security lights on the passenger side of the coach. The driver privacy drape, so that's this drape right here. The front privacy drape. The door privacy drape, the passenger privacy drape. Then we had the driver side window awning and the passenger side window awning. Here we have the driver side slide out. So this is going to take the slide out on the driver side. This is your full wall slide on the hydraulic slide. Then we have our passenger side slide out, exterior LED lights, and your exterior entry step. So you can lock that in place or you can turn that on and off. And then we have our Wi-Fi router. So this is the same as our Wi-Fi extender. This is the communications port for the Silverleaf. So basically a tech can come into the coach, plug into this. For some reason your generator came on at 3 o'clock in the morning and it wasn't supposed to. He can diagnose what happened, why it came on. So this is a troubleshooting system as well as the command center. Here we have our command center for the coach. So we have our home button. This is going to show us our AC power, our DC power, gen set. We can start our generator from this control as well. Our water level, our tank level, so our fresh water, we have it's 75% full. Our gray tank is empty and our black tank is empty. Set our climate, so we can set the climate for the coach here. When we want it to come on, we can program that for day and night. Our floor heat in the Essex is electronic, so we can do it by zone. We can do it the front, the rear, and the mid. And something they've added this year as far as the floor heat goes, now there is floor heat in the bedroom slide of the coach. This goes through your special features. Here we have our genset, our autofill, pump, autogen. So autogen is going to detect if your batteries are running low. If it sees that they're running low, it's going to automatically start to recharge them. It's going to recharge them. It's going to start and do charge for 3 hours. At the end of 3 hours, it's going to measure the level of your batteries. If they're not fully charged, it will stay on for 3 more hours. At the end of 6 hours, if they're not fully charged, it's going to turn off because it will know that something is not right with the batteries. Then you've got your block heater, your locks, keypad camera, and then you can set the brightness of the panel. All right, let's go over a little electrical talk here. First of all, I want to note that this panel is showing us the house batteries, they're charged, chassis batteries. We're plugged into shore power, and then we have leg 1 and leg 2. So we always say 50 amp service. That's kind of an RVer's term. Basically, 50 amp service, we have 50 amps coming in on leg 1 and 50 amps coming in on leg 2. That gives us 100 amps of power coming into the coach. So when we are plugged into shore power or running off our generator, we have plenty of power to run all the functions of the coach, the AC, the microwave, etc. Now, if we were going to be dry camping or boondocking, then we need to run off our batteries. And so how do they get charged? Basically, we have inverter. We have a 3,000 watt inverter in the Essex. Let's talk a little inverter talk. Now, the Essex comes with a 3,000 true sine inverter. So what do inverters do? They have 3 functions. They convert AC to DC and DC to AC, which is alternating current to direct current, and vice versa. They charge the batteries and they pass current through. So let's say that we are plugged in at a campground. We've got shore power, so we have 100 amps of power coming into the coach. It's going to come into the coach. It's going to go down into the basement where our inverter is. It's going to pass through, come up here to the silver leaf panel, and it's going to charge the batteries as necessary. All right, now we're just going to go over the storage that we have up front here. Storage here, here. I know these are small spaces, but I'm sure you can find something to go in there. We have our 40-inch Sony TV, and then we have a little more storage over here on the passenger side as well. That's our Wi-Fi router right here. And more storage. I'm going to go ahead and bring the slide rooms in so you can see how much room we have when the slides are retracted. Newmar's slide-out clog wheel is much larger than any other manufacturer in the industry. One rotation of the cogwheel moves the slide 1 foot. This is a reason why Newmar has much fewer issues with the slides they invented. Their cogs accomplish the result with far less movement and motion of parts. Now I've retracted the slides. You can see that I have plenty of room to walk. I can be at my sink preparing food, washing dishes, cooking. I have access to my microwave. I can also get into my refrigerator. Freezer. Pantry. I can almost fully extend those slide out trays. And most importantly, the bathroom. Now to my favorite part of the coach. I get to show off the interior. So we have the beautiful Novara interior, and this is the 4553 floor plan. We chose the ginger glazed wood, and I want to talk about the wood in the Essex just a little bit. There's 258 pieces of wood in this coach. They're all handcrafted, hand sanded, and hand glazed. And Newmar uses a term, it's called unitized construction. So you'll see right here that it's seamless. There, you know, we've got pieces of wood that have come together here, but you cannot see the transition at all. So that's our unitized construction. It's really beautiful. Right here in our storage compartment, you can see a header. This header runs all along this wall. So a header is just like you have when you're building a house. They're 4 to 6 inches and they give angled support. So we also have a header that runs the full length of the full wall slide. I've turned the captain and the passenger chair around so you can see this makes a really lovely living room with lots of seating. Not only do we have the wonderful recliners that we opted in that go out and then recline. All you have to do is try to stay awake now. Another new feature for 2018 that you're all gonna love, because we used to have the TV or the televator lift on the other side. Now I'm sitting in my recliner, I wanna watch the TV, I'm just gonna hit the TV lift up, and voila, there's my TV. I didn't even have to move. All right, with my captain and passenger seat turned around, I want to note that they both have footrests, so they recline, have the footrest. So do our recliners here. And another bonus, on our sofa, we have the footrest here as well. So everyone should be comfortable. We have the multiplex lighting system, so if I press the bottom 2 buttons here, I'm going to turn off all the lights in the coach, and if I press the top 2, I'm going to turn all the lights, or the main lights, back on in the coach. We have our day and night shade, and then our kitchen and living room shades right here, day and night as well. The Essex comes with the 48-inch LED Sony TV, and we have the Bose soundbar and a Sony Blu-ray player. Before we move out of the living room, I want to talk about our beautiful ceilings here. Look at the beautiful detail. I want you to notice what isn't there. You don't see a bunch of vents lining your ceiling. All your AC and heat is underneath these beautiful ceiling treatments. So you have 3 air conditioning units with heat pumps. So the heat pump is good till it drops below 40 degrees. Once it drops below 40 degrees, you're going to want to use your Oasis heating system as a furnace. You also have your electric heat in your floor. So look at the beautiful porcelain tile. Know that you have electric heat zones. You have 3 different zones that you can use for heat as well. Now, another great feature about these ceiling treatments is the fact that when you have to go and change your filters, all you have to do is pull down this ceiling treatment. You've got your filters right there. They're Velcroed. Take them off, wash them out, stick them right back on. It's great. All right, I mentioned earlier that in 2018 they added electric floor heat to the slide out in the master bedroom. So let's talk a little bit about Newmar's electric floor. So floor heat. They have basically 4 to 5 inch electric mats that have copper wire running through them right underneath the tile. So you get your floor heat almost instantly, and it's much easier to diagnose. If you have a problem with one of your mats, they can find the problem, just move that tile and fix it. It's very easy. When you have radiant floor heat, you have water essentially running through it, and you have hot and cold spots, and it's much harder to diagnose and fix the problem. With the recliner option, you get the lamp stand here. So we have a nice drawers, lots of storage space here. Nice solid surface top here so you can put your drinks. Another nice drawer. And then I also want you to notice the beautiful day shades. I love how Newmar it's the details. They have texture and they're really pretty. Then we have opted this coach with the booth dinette. So I love the booth dinette. First of all, it's very roomy. You've got plenty of space here between me and the table. and it's very comfortable too. So if you want to sit back and talk to your friend while they're making dinner for you, it's a very comfortable seat. And it extends, so we can add the leaf and bring our 2 extra chairs here, so we can seat 4 easily, maybe even 6 if we wanted to. And we have storage underneath each seat. Okay, you can easily see with 2 leaves in this table, I could easily have a person to my right and to my left. So that really, this will seat 6 people. Okay, while I'm sitting here, I want you to notice a huge egress window here. Why this big egress window here? Because everything with Newmar starts with service. So this big window, you could take your refrigerator, if it needed to be replaced, you could take it through this window rather than having to take it through your front windshield. Whenever we put the 2 recliners in, we always opt for the sofa with the hide-a-bed. So this folds out and you have an air mattress for your bed. With the fold out extended and we aired up the mattress, you can see that you can easily sleep 2 full-size adults on this bed. Right here by the sofa, we have the 2 110 outlets and 2 USB ports. Then moving on to the beautiful solid surface countertops. And we have the residential touch-enabled faucet, so you just touch it and water will come on. And we have the really beautiful stainless steel sink in the Essex. Note the beautiful backsplash that's all new for 2018. And we've got full extension drawers again. Lots of storage. Nice big cabinets. Slide out trays. I love those, especially on these upper cabinets, so that you can get to everything in the back of the cabinet. We have our convection microwave oven, and this is a cool little appliance garage. So we've got an outlet in the back there. We can store our coffee maker or our blender, whatever we don't want to have seen on our counter. Now here we have a little drawer here, and they've added something I love. You know, if you know me, you know that I love that the garbage is hidden. So I don't want to walk into the coach and first thing I see is someone's garbage. So I love that it's hidden. It has a little lid on it, and we've got another pull-out tray. Here we have our dishwasher. Nice big drawer here with every remote you would ever need in your whole entire life, I'm pretty sure. Storage, more storage, little pull-out drawer, love those. And last but not least, we have our recessed cooktop. Love that you've got the cutting boards on the back side of your covers here. So we're going to take those off. And then we have our induction cooktop, which we can take out. If you want to cook fish or onions and you don't want to make a mess of your coach, you can take this outside, plug it into one of the outlets in the bays outside, and do all your cooking outside. We have the residential size refrigerator, nice and big, and we have the water and ice on the outside of the fridge, and the freezer. Tons of space here, and we have the lock, so you can just simply move that over and lock it when you're in travel mode. Then we have the great Essex pantry. So again, we have full extension on our slide out trays here, and they're adjustable. So we've got cereal, oatmeal up here, but if we want to make that space again, we can move these trays. And then onto our half bath. Love that little handle. Nothing to hook your pants on as you're sliding through when the slides are in. So you just push that, and there your pivot door opens. So in your half bath, we have our central vac and our dustpan. So you can hook up your central vac right there, vacuum the whole coach, or you can simply sweep everything to your dustpan and then just hit that little lever and it will suck it all away. Here in the half bath, we have our breaker box, more breakers and fuses here. Everything is nicely labeled for the house fuse panel, so you can easily replace whatever fuse you need to. And while the camera's up there, I want you to notice our fantastic fan. It's got the covered vent that has a rain sensor on it. We're going to have one in the half bath, one in the kitchen, one in our master bathroom. Then we have the beautiful solid surface countertops with the nice backsplash. We have our medicine cabinet here. Medicine cabinet with the 110 outlet and our recessed sink. Again, we have storage. Here's where our little toilet paper holder is. So you just open the door, it's all tucked away. More storage, and then our little dustpan. Right, moving on to the lovely master bedroom. These doors are just going to lock into place. Here we have our beautiful king size bed. This is a Sleep Number mattress. And then we have storage underneath. That's where we've got our extra chairs. We also have 110 outlets and USB chargers on both nightstands. And we have the charging pads. So again, you've got an Android phone, you can charge it, just lay it right there. It's going to charge. If you have an iPhone, you just need a special case and it will do the same thing. Here on this side of the coach, we have our 40-inch LED Sony TV with our Bose soundbar again, and our Blu-ray player. We also have our slide-out control for the bedroom slide, and then we have our dresser day and night shades, and all of our light controls. Here we have another command post, basically, where you can do all the functions I showed you at the front of the coach. We've discussed the control panel at the front of the coach, midship here, and we have the Sony Z tablet. So you can control all the functions of the coach within 400 to 500 feet of the coach with your Z tablet. Or even better, you can download the My Rosie app onto your phone, and as long as your coach is hooked up to Wi-Fi wherever it is, you can control all the functions of the coach right from your phone on the My Rosie app. You can do this by using the Wi-Fi booster as your router or the WineGuard cellular package as your router. So we have more storage here, and we can extend and retract the awning for this window right here. We talked about the craftsmanship, the unitized construction. I also want you to note that on the drawers, all the drawers are dovetail construction. Very high quality cabinetry. Tons of storage. We also have a little storage here above the bed. Notice the beautiful headboard, and underneath here we have controls for our lights, for our shades, another generator starting button, believe it or not. You can do it from the bed, and you have control of the driver and passenger side security lights. Moving on into the luxurious master bath. Isn't this beautiful, beautiful Corian countertops with the same vessel sinks as the solid surface, and tons of space. I love the oval doors with the little storage area. That's huge, great for your medicine. Again, great drawers here. The bathroom has the cathedral ceiling, so it gives us some extra room. Then we have the 40 by 32 inch shower. So you've got tons of room in here. We've got the shower assist handle here, and we can use the seat. We can just flip it down. If we want to sit, shave our legs, plenty of room. Place for our shampoo. I love the shower. Feels like, well, just as nice or nicer than my one at home. Then we have great storage here with this floor plan. So you've got a linen closet and washer and dryer. This dryer is a 220, hooked up to 220 power, so it's just like your home dryer. Then we have our cedar lighting closet, space for folding clothes here, hanging clothes, our recessed shoe holder here. The lights automatically go on when you open the closet door. And then we have our safe in the back far corner. Here's the Dometic toilet. We've got our little toilet paper holder here, tucked away so no one's gonna see that. We've got our 110 outlet. And then we have our emergency egress door. So I could take this whole valance and just pop it right off if I wanted to. Just snaps off, snaps back on. I'm gonna leave it in place. 2018, they added the grab bar as well as the ladder to our egress door. So before, you had to just take a leap of faith and jump out and make sure you're safe. Now, we just open it up. This panel here is magnetized, so I just pop that right off. You can see the magnets there. I undo the Velcro strap here. And then the ladder just flips forward. I'm gonna lock the door into place here, and then I just let it telescope down. There's my ladder. So grab onto the grab bar, step out, and down I go. Now that I'm safely down, how do I put it back? Super easy. Push the ladder up, lock it into place. Then I'd put my panel on, shut the door, all done. Thank you so much for spending the time watching this walkthrough of the 2018 Newmar Essex. If you liked what I had to show you, please let us know. If you have any suggestions of things that you'd like to see or something that you would like me to cover more in depth, let us know. We would love to hear from you. Now this was the 4553. If you want to see this floor plan or other models of Newmar product, pick up the phone, give us a call, come and visit us at National Indoor RV Centers in Dallas or Atlanta where we carry the Newmar product, or you can visit us at NIRVC.com. Now if you liked this video and you want to see more videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe.